Hey everybody, welcome to a live broadcast tonight. And tonight my subject is what the Bible says about wealth. And I want to thank you all for taking time out of your schedule tonight. And I'm going to talk about a lot of things we don't hear a lot from various backgrounds or whatever kind of maybe pastors, preachers, teachers. But it's not a gospel of hope and pray. I'm going to go into the Word and talk about a little bit what the Bible says about wealth tonight. And thank you, first of all, something new to me, but not new to me, but new to the channel. But I felt led by this, and I really want to go into it because a lot of times we have a battle, a spiritual battle. I think we got to be poured down and out, broke to get to heaven, and to help people. You know, you can't help people if you don't have something to help them with. Does that make sense? So tonight I'm going to go through a couple scriptures, and I hope it goes, and I'm going to go deep into a little bit of understanding. My whole life, I've been blessed. I never had a job in my life, and I contribute that to the three billionaires I had. But more important, the teachings and then understanding with the word and putting both together with what this says and what the Bible and it came together. And that's why I'm so blessed. And I want to start this year off with this, what the Bible says about wealth. Now, I'm going to go to Deuteronomy 8:18. You can write that down or watch it later or just pay attention. And it says that he gives you power to get wealth. In all things we do, we must give grace and be grateful for what we have. A lot of times we talk about what we don't have. We talk about more what we don't have than what we've been blessed with. He can't give you more if you don't appreciate what you already have. And a lot of times people complaining about this or that, or like the old story. The man said, I was complaining about not having shoes, so I met a man that didn't have any feet. And so we got to quit complaining. Tonight as it gets dark around this country, there's a boat leaving out of Cuba going 31 miles north to Miami. That 30 people is on it, and she only have 10. And there's a shark that followed every night because they know it's got a free meal by following that. And they come here for an opportunity. And if you look at the word American, it says me, I can. So we have to understand that wealth is for us, but a lot of times we don't understand that the fruits in Genesis, and it all starts in the first book of Genesis. In Genesis 1:28 says, be fruitful and multiply. Now, what does that mean now, Thomas? That means going out, doing above and beyond the call of duty. A lot of them have a job, I understand 8 to 5, but what are we doing after that? Because we all have the same amount of hours a day, which is 24 hours a day. Now, I started a little business around my schedule some 30 years ago with an hour a day. And that business, I put a couple more hours the next year, put 3 hours in it. By my third year, I was financially free and I had to worry about anything. The key is we got to start multiplying. And if we don't start multiplying, see, adding, subtraction, and addition, but multiplication is so important. And everything has numbers. Everything has numbers. The number one is for unity. Number two is for division. Number three is God. Number four is earth. Number five is grace. Number six is man. Number seven is comfort. Number eight is a new beginning, or number seven is completion. Number eight is new beginning. Number nine is word of truth and also perfect order. Number 10. And a lot of all things come together. But if you don't understand what you have, you'll misuse it. So let's go back. Be fruitful and multiply. Ask yourself this: what do you have on your agenda to multiply your income this year? Because as we look at it, inflation's hitting us. We got a new president. I got that. But you know what? You have to take control of you. So here again, what are you doing to multiply your income? Everything is going up. Inflation's going up. And if you're not doing something extra with your time, then you're going to get left behind. Let me say that again. If you don't find more to do with your time, you're going to get left behind. Now, it says in Genesis 1:29, it says, I've given you every herb bearing seed. Everything within itself has a seed. A woman has children, seeds. Everything has seeds. Carrots have seeds. Apples got seeds. We have a seed of greatness inside of us, but most of us are living beneath where God really wants us to go. And you got to understand, everybody. In my book, go back to the channel, All Things Business, and my book is called God's Gifts, and I talk about the gifts that God gave all of us, at least three of them minimum. And listen to the book or download the audio or I mean the ebook, but it's only 18 minutes to some change. Now let's talk about what can we do with our free time because we all have the same amount of time a day, 24 hours a day, 6 hour, 8 hours to sleep, working 8 hours. That's six. Eight and eight is what 16. We still got plenty of time to eat, friends, family. We still got 2 or 3 hours we can edge out of our day to build something extra around our schedules. that will free us, give us extra money, pay off some bills, put the kids in college, put some money away for, because you know that 401k is down to a K, don't you? So what are we doing differently? Well, let me go deeper because a lot of us don't understand. We hear the word on Sundays from different various backgrounds of what your belief is. But let's dive into it a little bit more as a business owner. Let's look at what as a business people should look at. First Thessalonians 4:11. I'm gonna go there, and he says, be quiet and be he said study, but be quiet. So when you get around successful people, that's the reason why I gave us two ears and one mouth. Be quiet and listen and take notes. And it says, and do your own business. I'm gonna say this again. It says, do your own business. Now, that's beside your job. Do your own business. What are you doing after you get off? In other words, I asked a guy the other day, I said, what kind of business are you in? Well, I work here, I do this. I said, no, 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 no. That's your job. As my dear friend Dr. Monroe would say, he says, that's what they pay you to do. God's work is what he gave you to do. So what do you do after 5 o'clock? He looked at me like, huh? I'll go, so what business are you in? Well, I just told you, I work blah, blah, blah. I go, no, that's your job. That's your job. What type of business are you in after 5 o'clock? I don't watch. I watch TV. I watch games. I said, see, that's the problem. You have to have your own business. Right there in First Thessalonians 4:11, it says, own your own business. It could be a car wash. It could be whatever. Start something up. It could be network marketing. It could be real estate. It could be traditional business. But start something up. Don't you realize every business that started small and got bigger as they scaled it up? So by owning your own business, it also says in that scripture, and work with your own hands. In other words, use this to build it. This is the same as this. You don't have to do manual, but you can do mental, but you got to go build something around your schedule for your future. Because I'm going to tell you something. This year that we just embark on, it's going to be tough on a lot of families because they only have one income. What would happen if you got a call Monday morning or you walked in Monday morning and the doors were locked? What would happen if you walked in Monday morning and the boss said, I need to see you in my office? Hmm. What would happen? And all of a sudden they told you adios and there's a guy to escort you out. I was watching a movie the other day, just a segment of this little segment called Margin Call, when they marked the guy out of his office after all these years of working faithfully for the company. Well, what about this one? They call you in the office, say, listen, Billy, we want you to train these 5 people. And you're all excited because you think, oh, this is going to be great. I'll get a promotion. And lo and behold, you train these people for 2 weeks, and also the boss call you in there. You're expecting a promotion, and they go, "Come here, Billy. Sorry, but I've got to let you go." So in other words, they made you train your replacements. I've seen that many times. I'll get calls from people. Oh my God, Mr. Thomas, I can't believe I trained the people to take my income. Or you get over 40 and they trade you for 220-year-olds. Get it? Or what about this one? They call you in the office and now they have you. They have you not only train people, but they have you show around and then they let you go. It's sad, but I see it all the time. So you need to have your own business, folks. Now, also in Proverbs 22:29, it says, see thy a man slash woman diligent in his own business. There it is for the second time about owning your own business, not relying on corporate America, not relying on anybody. But the man upstairs said in his word, get your own business, no matter how small, but put a little time into it. So, a farmer has faith. What do I mean by that? A farmer has 5 acres. Let's say he's planting tomatoes out there. When he plants them, he doesn't get to harvest the same day, the same week, the same month. He has to take some time. He has to make sure it's get water, air. It's got to make sure all the critters are away from it. He's got to guard it against everything. And he also got to pull the weeds, which are negative thinking people. It takes time to build something. We are not patient enough to give it time for it to grow. You must give it some time. So let's go back to owning your own business. What kind of business are you thinking about that you've been owning? Because I'm sure a lot of you out there thought about, I need to do this. And then the little devil pops up. Boop, you can't do that. Blah, 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 blah. Your mother said this. Your daddy said you this. And then that little angel pops up. Why not? So-and-so did it. You can do it. So we go through what I call a battle of the mind every day. We get up battling the mind. And what happens the first thing we do, we get up in the morning? We're watching the news or we're listening to this or we get to grab our cell phones. We miss the whole point of being quiet and silence on God. What do I need to do to better myself and my family? What kind of business can I start part-time? As I look around, every business IBM started in a garage in Palo Alto. Apple started in Menlo Park. I mean, all these businesses start small, and now look up, they're mega, mega, billion, $1 trillion businesses. My question to all of you out there: what are you up to in 2025? Like I said, it says own your own business. Hmm. And it says, a man that is diligent in his business, he shall stand before kings and shall not stand before mean men, women too. So what am I saying? When I started, I had nothing. My dad was in the military; he was a sergeant, and I was, when I went to, I mean, he was a drill sergeant, which means the troops when they came in, he 3 mile, runs with backpacks and all that stuff on in the middle of the night and all that stuff. So my dad, I was afraid of my dad. Matter of fact, when he came home at night, I mean, when I went to the bathroom at night, I'd actually make my bed. He was military, and I thank my dad for that because he instilled the idea of being self-sufficient because he brought that home, and I got that at a young age. And I thought about it when I got old enough. I said, I have to have my own business. And I thought about this. And I never forget being in the garage. He passed me a wrench, and I was helping in the garage. My hands got dirty. I said, Lord, I need something better. I need to work with my mind. I need to have my own business because I realized nobody's going to take care of me but who? Me. Now, I'm not here to talk about jobs. We all need those. You need those to get, yeah, I understand that. But I'm saying put an hour or two a day in the future of your family and make sure that they're going to be okay from this point out. And with that said, let's go a little bit more. Let's go to Second Chronicles 9 and 23. He says, Kings sought him. Sought who? King Solomon. Why were they seeking him? Because he was asked God for what? Wisdom. Guys, if you don't have the wisdom to find something that you need to go into, give God some prayer and ask him to give you the wisdom to guide you, lead you, direct you down the path that you should go. And the whole idea of having a business, Solomon, people came from all over the world to hear from Solomon and Queen of Sheba came. Why? Because he had so much wisdom. And the beautiful thing about it, kings came all the time. And matter of fact, they gave him a residual. That's another thing we don't talk about. You need to get a business where you get residual income. In Second Chronicles 9:24, it says, at a rate of year by year, the kings from the world came and gave him a residual to say, thank you for giving the knowledge. It's more every year after year after year because he had so much wisdom. Folks, just don't build a business. Build a business is giving you residual income and you can use leverage. These are the two powerful things that wealthy people use is leverage and residual income. When I first heard about this, I got started in my first business that was network marketing. I understand the power. Think about it. What if you could open up a McDonald's restaurant for a couple $100 and every time they sold a burger, shake, fry, you got paid on it? Well, that's a business. We can do all kind of businesses, but you got to start somewhere. And I didn't have a lot of money, but I said, you know what? What if I give this 4 or 5 years and I go to work and make it real? And by my first year, I did well. My second year, I tripled it. By my third year, I was financially free. I was making more in a month than some people make in a year. And I'm not here to brag on that. I'm just saying, what if you did the same thing? What if you put an hour or two a day in a business that you should have? Wow. 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 Matter of fact, in 2 Corinthians 9:26, it says he reigned over all the kings because he was wealthy with knowledge and understanding how to get people into business. So you need to have a business. 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 Business is so important. You know, um, and when you understand that you can build something, I want you to really put your time and effort into it. So in Proverbs 19:2 says, listen and advance and accept discipline. The hardest thing I've seen in 26 years of building businesses is for people to take discipline, being humble, and listen to somebody who's already gone where they want to go. Because if you listen to them, they can teach you. And this is also at the end, you will be counted among the wise people. Now, God gave me three billionaires. I am very fortunate, and I listened to all three billionaires. They gave me different advice and led me to where I'm at today. And that's why I'm blessed. But I want to make 2025 a blessing for you. There's a lot in that little black book called BIBLE, stands for Basic Instruction Before Leaving Earth. And he talks about businesses. Now, what am I talking about? It just takes you a little time, a little mustard seed to plant in the ground and then go to work at it every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, relentlessly every day, whether you want to or not. Let's face it, many of you go to work and you hate to do that, but you do it anyway. You do it out of fear. What's fear? False education appearing real. Why? You're scared I'll lose my car. If I don't go, I'll lose my house. If I don't go, I can't pay my bills. I understand that. But if you set aside time to do something part time, where would that be in 2 to 3 to 5 years? Think about it. Turn off the Bluetooth. Turn off the TV set. All it gives is red eyeballs and hollowed head. You've got to understand. You'll have abundancy, but it takes time to grow it. When a farmer plants a seed in the ground, he knows it may take a year for it to come up through the ground first week or so, boop, to a month later, boop, and it grows over time. Same thing with any type of business, but you got to have it. In Deuteronomy 28, this is what I love. This is one of my favorite scriptures. It says, the blessing of the Lord will make you very abundant. Abundant. They that will and it'll catch up with you and it'll chase you down because you have to put the time in. Some of you right now has a business, and Miss Thomas, I've been working my business part time. I got a little this, I got that going, and it hasn't caught up to me yet. Keep going. See, let me say something. If you don't see the results outside of you, that means he's working on the inside of you. So you got to keep going. Don't stop. Let me give you an analogy. When we start a business, Zig Ziglar used to talk about this. Can you imagine one of those pumps they have on the farms back in the old days? And, to get the water up, and they had to pump, 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 and the water came out of the ground. And also, can you imagine stop pumping and all of a sudden the water just went right back down to the bottom? You got to keep pumping. You got to keep pumping that maybe a week, a month, a year. And all of a sudden, guess what? The water starts oozing out. And it's easier to pump because you put the time in it. And guess what happens? It's easy now. It's easy now. And the moment you stop, it goes back down. But once it's flowing, it'll flow and it'll keep flowing. Wow. And I want to tell you something. You can do it. This is a new year. We have a new administration, but I'm telling you, you're set for success if you start something small. I started small some 30 years ago, and I'm blessed. But I want that for you this year. And it will overtake you. But you got to put the time in it. You got to go to work in what you got. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you. If we got any questions out there, Mr. Bree Clemens, because I want this, my first one, but short, but I want to talk about what it says biblically about owning your own business, having your own business. There's 7 mountains of influence out there. There's art, there's the business world, which that's my mountain. There's education, there's family influence, the government, there's media, and there's also religion. One of my pastor wrote a book called Prepare Yourself to Be Blessed. And he talks about that in his book. But the whole idea, I have great mentors in religion. Okay, I follow and I listen. In the media, very few people. Dr. Miles Monroe. In government, only if they're led. In family, in education, in business, and in art. There's 7 mountains of influence out there. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time to scale the mountain for you and your family. Everything has everything comes to that. Like I said, there's the 10 I gave you earlier: unity, division, God, earth, grace is number 5, 6 is man, 7 is completion, 8 is a new beginning. So guess what? Tonight I want you to be on number 8 with a new beginning. The word of truth is 9, and perfection and perfect order is 10. But tonight, make it a new beginning for yourself. And I want to thank you because I just want to share a little bit with you because a lot of times we think we have to be down and out to get to heaven. Down and out, it's bad to make money. I'm a Christian. I'm this, I'm that. I shouldn't be making this much. Oh my God, what if I lose? No, you're not going to lose anything. It's time to rise and shine. It's your time to get up and go because this is a brand new year. It's a new beginning for you. It's a new beginning. We're a new month and a new year, and it's a new beginning. But you have to be able to invest back into you and yourself because these corporations, it's cutting down. We see over 3,000. There's 3 million people in the United States of America that's homeless right now. Do you know that 43% of all Americans are have one credit card maxed out? Do you realize that? It's crazy, and it's going to get worse. My question to you: don't wait till the floodgates overtake you. Start or get involved with the business, get partners, whatever you got to do, but start today and make today the beginning for the rest of your life of a great opportunity. Because as things get more expensive, like eggs were what $18 for a dozen or 18 a couple of years ago, $3. Everything's going up, but our incomes. Folks, I hope this blessed you. Do we got any questions out there, Mr. Free Clemens? Any questions out there? I think about the lady in Isaiah, the prophet had a lady who they were coming for her sons, and he said, "What do you have to sell? What do you got to sell?" And she had nothing. He said, "Well, go get some jars from your neighbors." So in other words, she went to borrow some jars, and then once she got the jars filled up, guess what? He said, "Go sell it. Go sell it." She made it. She became an entrepreneur. She had so much money after she sold it, she could retire. Everything is around you these days. And some of you say, "Well, I'm not a salesperson." Who said you'd be a salesperson? But start somewhere in this year. So I want to thank you all for your time tonight. I hope this blessed you because this is a new year. Go start a business. It's all in his little word, Bible, basic instruction for leaving Earth. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. And for you all folks out there that already have businesses, we thank you. Keep pressing and keep helping other people and be a mentor to people. Hey, I want to thank you for your time. I want to keep this short because I want to get right to the point. Take care. God bless. And I hit the like the video and also please leave a comment below. And I thank you for your time. Al Thomas over and out. God bless.